Hey guys, welcome to my channel, welcome to my stream, and welcome to another chapter working on this guy right here. That is our Great Wall Hobbies 1/48 scale F-15C. So let's run that intro and we'll get right into it, okay? We're back and we're going to continue on. This is not the plane we're working on. This actually is a 1/48 scale Tamiya F-15 that I built, I want to say probably about 5, maybe 6 years ago, before I even started doing anything on YouTube. I built this guy. So this is basically the standard I'm going for. Tamiya does make a nice kit, and I've got nothing against that, but I wanted to do a Great Wall Hobbies kit. There's a couple of things that are different in the Great Wall Hobby kit. One of the most noticeable when you're looking at it, the Tamiya kit uses the old style engines. See those on there? See it on the on this camera there? Uses the old style that uses those what do they call them? I think they call them tail feathers or tail fins or feathers. I think they're feathers. I think they call them tail feathers. Something that the United States, well, they stopped putting them on. It became too costly to keep replacing these things, and so they started using this style, which of course is the exact same engine. It just doesn't have all those little panels over top of them. Exact same thing. They found that the heat signature was not significantly higher when these are removed to make really much of a difference, and so they just, for cost effectiveness, just left them off, and that's what they do now. But Tamiya doesn't offer this, even though you can still buy this kit today. They haven't updated it or anything like that, and so yeah. The other big noticeable difference in the Tamiya kit is the access panel on the sides. Those are not open. You don't get any options for opening up the panels and seeing anything in there. Yeah, I'd say that's probably the two biggest differences with these kits. Anyway, I just thought I'd point that out to you guys, show you. I have built this. I have built the Tamiya one. And yeah, as usual, as you can see, my cockpit color is not correct in the Tamiya kit at all. There's actually a lot less detail now that I'm looking in here. The detail inside, let me change the camera, I'll show you. The detail inside the cockpit, at least in the back here for your panels, that's not really that great at all, is it? When you compare that to the Great Wall Hobby kit, that really leaves something to be desired, doesn't it? Really a lot of detail missing there. And these little three black boxes in there, that's not accurate. That's not the way F-15s look. That's funny. Anyway, and of course I painted the seat blue, like a bright blue color there. We got some yellow decal seat belts. Yeah. I'd say it's not one of my best ones, but yeah, I did all right. Anyway, let's get to the actual subject that we're doing here. That's this guy. Bingo. He looks a little different now, doesn't he? It's because yesterday I painted him all primer. Painted him in the black primer. I do have the air brake, which I did look online. And I had pre-painted this white on the inside here. Not supposed to. That's supposed to be gray. Same color as the fuselage. This whole section here. I thought maybe it was supposed to be white, like the interior, like the inside of your landing gear base. But no, it's just supposed to be gray. I did paint our little computer panels on the inside there. So we're going to get ready to paint some gray today. The gray that we're going to be using, I'm going to put this back on. I want to paint this on the fuselage so that I can match it up nicely. Okay. This is going to be kind of a quick one because I'm going to be using my bigger airbrush, with a 0.5 needle in it. I don't use this one very often, as evidenced by the dust on top of it. Let's get rid of the dust here. Whew. Yeah, she's dusty. I don't use this one very much at all, except for when I want to do large panels like this. And I didn't even use it when I was putting the primer on. But I want to use it for doing this layer of the gray. So we're not going to be using my 0.3. So I'll just put the covers on this one. Put them away. Let's just put him right there. Okay. There we go. He's ready to go. Okay. Nice big cup on this one too. And on this one, you can actually take this cup off, although I think paint has dried and stuck it on. Actually, this is not the one I was looking at. This has so much dust on it because I don't use this one. Maybe I should pay a little more attention. This has a lot of dust, but this is the one I'm going to use with the trigger. Although it's kind of stuck. There we go. Yeah. Let's just make sure this is working. Yep. Okay. This one has the removable cup. There we go. So you can get in there and clean really nice. Yeah. This is the one I'm using. Yeah. So there we go. Okay. Trigger action. It's still dual action, but it's got a trigger. And I'm just going to dust this one off too real quick. I don't want dust getting in the paint if I can avoid it. My room is already dusty enough. Okay, so let's get back into business here. Get this back in the spot since I don't use that one. Okay, again, what paint are we using? AK Interactive. We're using their new Air Series, Generation 2 I think it is, or is it Gen 3? Third generation, yeah. Okay, I'm going to shake this up. I got to see which one is the lighter. I put a little dab of it on the lids, but they look pretty close, so I believe it's this one that I'm going to be using, the Aggressor Grey. I'm just going to take a piece of paper here and just shake these up a little bit and put a little dab on them just to make sure. I just want to make sure. Okay. It's that one. I think this is going to be the lighter one. Yeah. Okay. This is definitely the lighter one. So, there we go. I'm going to mix it up. And I'm going to be mixing it not with water, not with thinner. Vallejo's Airbrush Flow Improver. That's what I'm going to mix this with. I'm going to do about roughly a 50-50 mix. And yeah, if you don't use, I found this stuff is the best. The best for this kind of stuff because it retains the paint's, I'm going to say, for lack of a better word, the paint's adhesion properties. If you just mix it with water and thin it out, yeah, you're thinning it out, but the paint won't want to stick. It's something about the properties of it. There's a chemical thing that has to do with it that I don't really understand fully, so I can't explain it. But this stuff helps it retain that adhesion and stickiness or whatever. Now, as I'm just talking about that, I just realized I have to do a little bit of masking up here, or I have to put the canopy on. Now I do have the canopy primed. I could put the canopy on here, and that would of course act as a nice mask for the cockpit. So I think I'm going to do that. So I got to take my tape off of the inside that I was using. when I primed it. So let's do that. I'm going to use a little bit of my blue tack to keep the canopy on. Like that. I'll use some blue tack to keep that down so that as I tip it over and stuff, and you know, I go to tip it like this, the canopy's going to want to lift. I don't want that, right? Totally don't want that. So I think I'm going to put a little bit of blue tack down here at the back, and maybe a little bit here on the edge. Put two little spots of it to hold it down, or maybe just one on this side and one on that side, right in here and here. I think maybe that would be a good idea. But just get a spot of it on each side, and that should be good. Good enough anyway to keep it down. That should be all right. So blue tack, where are you? That's this stuff here. Blue tack. I don't use this stuff very often, and I use it very sparingly. So, and I'm going to have to do the same for the front part of the canopy. Or I could just tape the front to the back. If I just tape it underneath this, that would probably do the same job. Maybe I'll just do that. Let's do this. And then line it up. Let's line it up here. That ain't lined up. That's the tricky part, is lining it up. What I should do, this is going to be the smarter way to line it up. Get that up there. This ready. Get this guy down here. There we go. Okay. There. Give that a little bit of a dab down. Now it wants to stick up, but that's okay. Blue tack. Cut this here. Okay. Get a little dab. A little square here. And just put that here. Okay, get another little piece. And, oops. Put it there. I said put it there. And I'll put one at the front. Right here. Okay. Let's get this down. There we go. She's holding in place. And that's all I need. That's all I need. So now I can turn that over. This falls off. That's okay. In fact, I'll put a little piece under this too, just to eliminate that again from happening again. Until I'm ready to actually paint under here, let's just put that down there. There. That should prevent it now. There we go. Nothing falling. Nice. Okay. I do have a little tiny squig of it sticking out there, and I don't want it interfering with the paint job, so I'm just going to tuck it in there a little bit. There we go. Okay. This is actually exposing a little flaw in the way that this sits onto the fuselage. this is actually sitting up on a slight little edge. Let me change the camera and show you here. You see that little gap in there? Right along there? Right along that edge. Right there. Because it's sitting high right there. It's sitting high, it's not flush. Now that's not something that's really going to be noticeable, except it is sitting up a little proud here on this edge because of that. I want to fix that. Before we go ahead with any painting, I want to fix this. So let's pull this off. I want to fix this edge. So, what do I need to do to fix that edge? I think I just shave it down a little bit here. Okay, that's getting a little bit better, a little more equal to the other side. Definitely on the outside edge here, it's totally not a lip anymore. So we'll do another check and see. There's still a gap. I don't think there's really anything I can do about it, short of putting in some putty in there, or you know, maybe a ½ millimeter thick piece of styrene or something could probably cure that. But you know what I say always, if it looks good from a couple feet away, it's good enough. And I'm going to have this displayed open anyway, so it's not going to matter. I'm going to have the canopy open anyway, so it's not going to matter. At the end of the day, it won't matter at all. Okay, so that's that. The other thing I need to worry about, I don't necessarily worry, but I need to deal with our panel doors that are going to be on display. These doors, they go on the sides here. Okay, I want to have them on there and basically use them as masks on those little control panels. So I'm going to take them off the sprue here. So I already have them painted or primed and painted green on the inside. I need to get rid of my nubs here, clean those up. Now they're not going to sit quite flush because they have these tabs on them. These little tabs on the side. Because those tabs are there, it's not going to sit flush, but that's all right. If I get a little bit of overspray on the inside, that's quite all right. I could always try doing a little bit of masking. So this would sit right here, like this. And so that sits a little outside, a little proud there. So that could potentially allow for some paint to get inside there. I could put a little masking tape on the inside. So let's just do that. Let's get a couple of pieces just to going to have to trim it. There's a little preparation we need to do for this so that we get a good job on it. Okay, there's one. I'll put another piece in there. And I'll just trim that. This. So that. Let's do it the other way. Let's do this one. I cut it at the wrong angle, the opposite angle of what I needed. There we go. Okay, one side done. Let's get this side done. There we go. Okay. Similar fashion, I'm going to use a little blue tack. Let's cut a couple of pieces here. Just put it in there like that. Line it up at the bottom first. There we go. Perfect. That should hold. Good enough. That's all I need. Okay. Another piece. There. Okay. Similar fashion here. It's lined up. Now I got it flush at the bottom, so that's good. There we go. The last thing is the nose cone. Now, of course, I've got this masked off from when I was priming it. Where is my nose cone? Where did I put that? I have that on my little tree here. I have that stuck in like this. I want the nose cone on there because I want to have conformity with how it all fits and how when I paint it I want it all the same. So I think this is going to hold on as long as I don't grab the nose for some reason. That should stay on its own. Let's give it a little shake, a little test here. Yep, she's going to hold. Okay, we're ready to paint. She's all masked off, ready to go. Let's put this away. Okay, I put this over here on my table. Okay, so don't need these. Get these out of the way, clean up my stuff here a little bit so I'm not knocking things around. I've gone and okay, I've got my landing gear bay doors here. I have them masked together so that it's just paint them all as one. Good enough. Okay, so shake this up again a little bit. Now, I do want to do maybe a 50-50 mix. I want to try. Gonna need quite a bit, so do about that much. How much is this? This is a little more than a quarter fluid ounce, 5 cc's. I got 5 cc's in there, okay? So I'm gonna put the level up to 10 cc's to give me a nice 50-50 mix. Okay. So I'm gonna hold this up just so I can see when I get up to 10 cc's. Which is about there. Okay. Stir this up. Make sure it's stirred nice and good. Now it doesn't hurt to add a little bit of water just to thin it up a little bit also. I think I might put a few drops of water in this because it does seem to be just a little thick still. Yes, the flow improver is great, but I think a little bit of water in here won't hurt it. So I'm going to put a little water in there. Just a little bit. Just a little bit like that. Not too much. Again, just make sure it's nicely stirred up. There we go. Okay. Fill up my cup here. It's about 3/4. Clean off my little stirring utensil. The nice thing about this stuff is the cleanup, because the cleanup is just hot water. That is the nice thing about this stuff. So I'll put my lid on here, so that'll help prevent premature drying. Okay, I do have my other camera set up, so you guys should be able to watch me paint. Let's see here. Don't think I actually have it activated yet, but I should be able to. Just give me a second here. Let's see, that should be all right. Here we are. I'm going to move my Tamiya plane out of the way. I'll just put it on the floor here. Okay. And with that out of the way, we'll do a little test spray. Looks pretty good. Okay, we're going to start with the bottom. Okay, start with the bottom. Let's see if I can get this a little better angle. Okay. Yep, looks good. Good coverage, that's for sure. I realize I just did a lot of that off camera. I'm sorry, guys. Okay. A few things that are a little bit difficult, like getting inside the intakes with this big nozzle is a little bit difficult. So this gun, this spray gun is great for doing these big patterns, but getting in the little nooks and crannies is difficult. So that's the little bit of a problem here. And that's where my other gun is going to come in handy. I'm going to switch up to my small one. Since I do have a little bit left in the mixing cup, I can just pour that in here. And that's a full cup right there. That in its thing. I can transfer. And I can quickly switch up. Quickly switch guns. Get into these tight spaces without flooding it with paint. A few little spots that are hard to get at, and that's what this gun is great for. Perfect. Good. Okay. Switch guns again. Okay, I'm going to have to do this wing last. Okay, that's just the nature of the game. Because I am holding it by this wing, so let's flip it over. Let's flip it over here, and we'll do the top. Okay, so I'm going to set this down for a minute. I think it might be dry enough. It's dry enough that I can sit it down on its belly. And work on our little tail fins and stuff. Okay? These are going to take multiple coats, so just do that, call that one done. Okay, those done. I'm gonna let that coat dry for a moment, and I'm gonna work on this wing. Sometimes you need 2 hands, or sometimes you need 3 hands. Okay. I'm going to call that done. Now, let's check my levels here. Still got quite a bit left, so we can do these. And that tail is done. This one here. Okay. I want to look at this one just again here, just to make sure. There we go. Okay. Okay, one more. Alright, those are done. Okay, got little things to do. This guy. little guys like that, fins and things. Got our front landing gear, bay doors. But I think that's it. We also have these guys. These guys need some love too. Go. Okay, I have to do another coat on this. I think that does it, guys. For some reason these flaps don't want to cover very well. Don't want to be covered very well. Nose came off. That's okay. The nose can come out. Okay, what I need to do now is we can just leave this. Quickly just take this up. We're going to paint the inside of this and the inside of that. I'm going to use this brush. There we go. Okay. And I think we can call that done, guys. Just going to make sure I haven't missed any spots. Some areas where it's looking a little dark. Maybe I missed. I think that's good. I think we're done. Okay. That's it. There's our gray plane. Okay. The last thing I'm going to do is the underside of this thing. Our air brake is not supposed to be white. It's supposed to be gray. So I'm going to grab a little alligator clip, kind of clip it on kind of like this so that I can still paint. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? Let's do this. Paint one of the little guys gray so that I can do this. And now I can paint the rest of it. So I'll just do that. I'll do this. I'll squeeze this down a little bit so you can see. There. One thing this paint doesn't do, one thing it doesn't do is it doesn't flow like you would if you had Mr. Surfacer or Mr. Colors leveling thinner in it. It doesn't do that. It doesn't have that property. But it still flows nice. It's not bad. But I am noticing it start to thicken up as time is going on. So that's basically it, guys. The plane is gray. She's gray now. So now I've got a bunch of cleaning to do. Clean up my 2 airbrushes and let this stuff dry and cure and leave that for now, which means I'm going to leave this until the next one. And so that's going to be it for today. And I want to thank you guys for watching. Thanks for all the support and the comments and all the likes and new subscriptions. Thanks, guys. It's really awesome. And if you haven't subscribed already, please do so down in that box over there. And yeah, we'll see you all in the next one.